Shut up and sit down.
Back on Inside Wisconsin, our guest, Frank Winters, who I don't know if you can tell by the accent. He is not from Northeast Wisconsin. He's not from Southwest Wisconsin. He's not from Upper Midwest, whatever. So you're full on New Jersey. I love it. How far did you grow up from the Vince Lombardi rest stop there on the Jersey Turnpike? It's got to be close.
It was. I was probably about 3 or 4 miles. I grew up in the Hoboken area right before the Lincoln Tunnel, right before you went to New York. You pulled into the Vince Lombardi was off, I think it was Route 3, just a little west of the Giant Stadium over there. I mean, it's been such a while since I've been back there, but it's truly remarkable. I used to ask my dad about Vince Lombardi because I guess he came from the Giants, and also with Tom Landry. I didn't know that, and they both went on to be great coaches themselves.
Yeah, I think they both coached under I want to say Ali Sherman. Vince was the offensive coordinator, and then the defense coordinator was Tom Landry when they went through there.
Yeah, and it was truly remarkable, playing in Green Bay for all those years to meet all those old time players of, Jerry Kramer and Fuzzy and Bart Starr and Jimmy Taylor and all those guys are truly remarkable. Dave Robinson, to sit down and listen to their stories and kind of let them interject and talk about, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and having the opportunity to learn from those guys and listen to their stories and tell us what a great tradition it is to play in Green Bay and what it's meant to them. And not only on the professional level, but their life after football. It's truly remarkable.
Do you find yourself in that line, in that legacy? And when you get a chance to talk to players on the squad now or recently, that you find yourself telling your own tales of your part of the history of this franchise?
I do. I mean, it is, when people talk about the Packers, when I kind of make a point where when we talk about the Packers, it's one of the greatest, franchises in all sports. It's, when you talk about them, you talk about, you get mentioned in the same name as the Yankees and the Lakers and the Celtics and what they have meant for their, professional sports teams during their eras. And, you look at the Packers, and I never used the word, they went through some tough times in the 70s and 80s. I mean, and anybody knows that plays professional sports, it's so hard to win. And sometimes you guys get in a rut and you don't do as well as you have. But I mean, if you look at the Packers, when Lombardi came in, even go back to Curly Lambeau and stuff, and then, then you have some tough years, and then you look at the 90s when we played until today. I mean, and then you look at some other franchises that have been losing for so many years. It's truly remarkable for the size of the city, the accomplishments they create every year and they achieve is truly remarkable. And so when you talk about the Packers and these people tell their stories, it's truly remarkable to hear about them. Word of mouth from firsthand experience.
You talked a little bit earlier about the culture shock of coming from New Jersey and then obviously New York with the Giants and so on. But what was one of your favorite things about trying to settle in here to the community that is Green Bay and Wisconsin? I mean, you were here for 10 years. You had to have gotten used to it a little bit. What were some of the things that you really enjoyed about living here?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was an easy commute. I mean, the fans were remarkable. They treated you, they understood who you were. They know the role you played, and they would come up to you in the restaurant and say hi to you and talk to you. And but at the same time, they would give you your space and your peace. And when your food came out, they let you sit down and stuff like that and enjoy it. For being a small community, the people were generally nice. They were really good. I mean, in every neighborhood, there's always some people that could be tough on you, but it was the fan base was truly remarkable. I think the friendship. I think the greatest thing that was very successful for our team in general was that we hung out and we did it as a player and as the group of players that we played together. We did everything together. So we really enjoy each other's companies, and it's a bond and a friendship that has lasted, like I said earlier, has lasted forever. And I'm going to be 58 years old in January, and I still talk to a lot of the Packer players that I talk to. I still talk to. I don't talk to many other players I've played with in other different teams because a lot of the opportunities don't arise because As with the Packers, we have a lot of legends, get-togethers and stuff like that. Where in other teams, that's not readily available, made to us. So um, it offers some great things for a small community, and people looked out for each other up there.
So the Brett stories are kind of legendary, and they kind of grow and get better, whether they're true or not, as time goes by. So let's take 4 out of the equation. Tell me somebody else on that team I want to go hang out with.
Ochimura was a great friend. Marco Rivera, Mike Flanagan, Santana Dotson, Gilbert Brown, Earl Dotson, who I think should be in the Packer Hall of Fame. I see Earl out there a lot. Gary Brown, Dorsey Levens. I see these guys. Antonio Freeman. We see these guys, and it's remarkable. Some of those guys we haven't seen forever, but it's like I follow what's his name, Antonio Freeman on Instagram, and there was a bunch of guys in Green Bay, and it just seems that every time we're back up there, we have a lot of fun and just getting together and just talking about the old type stories and reliving the past and enjoying something that we're too old to do now as adults.
When they were introducing you guys at Lambeau for the Super Bowl 31 reunion thing, it went alphabetical order, right? Leroy Butler was one of the first ones, and then all the way down to the end, there's Frank Winters, and we're like, what the hell? Where's Brett Favre's last? Duh. Along with you. That was pretty fun. Yeah, that
course,
list.
He's the quarterback. He's got to go last.
You like the current makeup of this squad? Do you like this team?
I do. You know what? The last couple of weeks they've been playing well. Defense, they played well. They played great yesterday. I didn't watch the whole game. I watched some highlights. They played some in the last 3 weeks at a tough schedule, and to come out 2-1, I think they should have beat the Chiefs. I think if Aaron played, I think they beat him hands down. But they have a good team. Hopefully they get some guys back. Hopefully Bakhtiari can come back and defense lineman can come back. But I think that they'll be okay. You look at the schedule and you watch games on Sunday. Any team could beat anybody in the NFL. It's you look at what Denver did last week to Dallas, and then what Dallas did to Atlanta yesterday. So it's they got a tough next couple of games here. Then they get a bye, and hopefully they can recoup. But I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I watch every time. You're like, wow, look how good the Titans are. They lost to the Jets. So yeah, who knows how that's going to work out.
I heard that on ESPN. I didn't even know they lost to the Jets.
Yeah, they lost to the Jets.
Nice.
Oh.
So we asked this of John Kuhn, and we also asked it of Leroy Butler. Frank, tell us a story about Super Bowl 31, either pregame or postgame, that you can get away with telling that nobody knows. Like, tell us something awesome from your Super Bowl experience.
We played under Holmgren. Holmgren was a very strict coach. I never forget the first day we went down there, we had a security meeting, and they had this big red circle around the city perimeters. And Holmgren was like, you see this red circle? You guys do not leave this red circle. It was because everything outside this red circle is bad, not good. Don't go there. Yeah, that's how Mike was. Mike was truly honest, blunt, and he told it like it was. And if you don't like to hear it, don't listen. And but we respected that. We knew we were down there for a business trip, and we had our fun. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday. Hey, it was. We practiced hard the week before, so it was. We knew what it was about, and we knew the task at hand, and that's how we approached it. We enjoyed it when we were down there. You should. Because then you get too tight and tense and nervous, and then next thing you know, you're down by 14 points. Instead of just playing relaxed and enjoying it, having fun.
So you touched on Reggie, and usually you had to practice against the scout team. But did you ever have any times where you had to line up and Reggie's more of an end and you're in the interior line? But still, did you ever have a chance where you just had to block and practice and go against Reggie White? Because it seems to me that would be a fearsome and terrible job.
Yeah, I remember one year Fritz, he was running that bear defense, and they put Reggie White over center. I'm like, and of course me, as the offensive center, you make the line calls, and we would slide the whole offensive line, so instead of everybody going one-on-one man block, we would just slide the right tackle down. I would call like a big slide, and that would put like the running back like on an outside linebacker or something like that. So but I do remember there was a picture, and I think we played in County Stadium, and Reggie was still with the Eagles, and we scored a touchdown, and I was doing a short snap still, and so I take my gloves off and I look up, and there's Reggie. He's right over the center. I'm like, oh God, it's not gonna be pretty. Well, about 4 years later, I see this picture, and all you could see is like Reggie White. I mean, I must have snapped it, and Reggie ran right over me, and all you could see is me laying on my back, and Reggie just like stepping over me and stuff. And I was like, now today you can't do it anymore. You can't even touch the center on an extra point or punt team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how it was. I mean, he was feared. I mean, there were stories with Ed West and the tight end that played with us and stuff, and he tried to block Reggie, and Reggie would throw him around, and it was funny. He sometimes people said he was a man amongst boys. And I'll never forget a story I remember about Reggie White, and we just moved into kind of the new part of the stadium, and we had a young guy, a towel boy who worked for us. His name was Andy Lavin, and special needs boy, but a great kid. Actually, till this day, he still works for the Packers. And somebody sent me a picture of him, me, him, and Brett. They were at the game yesterday. They sent a picture they saw in the stadium, and I never forget. Andy Lavin was a huge wrestler and loved like WWE, like whatever, Ric Flair. Loved those people. And one morning, I walked into the stadium. It was like 7 a.m, and Reggie White and Andy Lavin were wrestling on the Big G in the middle of the locker room, and Andy's got Reggie pinned, and as he's got him pinned, he's counting 1,001, 1,002, and he pinned Reggie to the mat. I mean, this guy weighs about 130 pounds, and he got up, and you thought he won a WWE. He was running around the locker room and stuff, and I look back, and I told that story at Reggie's Hall of Fame induction, and I look back, and I'm like, that's the kind of guy he was. He went out of his way to please this young gentleman who worked for the Packers, who, if somebody told that story or videotaped that story, I mean, it was truly remarkable. And that's just the kind of guy he was. And he was an awesome individual. He was a great player to play against, play with, and it was an honor to have him as a teammate.
Yeah, those stories, you can't beat them. A trip down memory
No.
lane with Packer Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion Frank Winters. We'll wrap it up in just a bit. We are Inside Wisconsin.
Inside Wisconsin is brought to you by Baycare Clinic, Cobblestone Creek, the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, Mill Home Supper Club, Festival Foods, Capital Credit Union, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, American Family Insurance, and Rolltech.
JA Inside Wisconsin and American Family Insurance. We're calling it Quotes for a Cause. Pretty awesome.
I like it. I want to learn more, and I'm glad that we are a part of this with American Family. My thought is, listen, if it's good enough to be on the Brewer Stadium, or you can put it on Steve Stricker's sleeve, that is a great partner, great neighborhood. I'm glad we're there.
Us too. We are glad we're here with them. It's Quotes for a Cause. Head to insidewisconsin.com/AmFam. Get a quote, and your local participating agent will donate $5 to Habitat for Humanity. John Anderson's going to come and build houses. I just signed you up for that.
Listen, my dad, Collins Custom Basement, for years, donated a basement to Habitat Humanity every year. That he went out and did that in the Green Bay, Brown County area. So I can't think of a better partner, and I can't think of a better cause, especially in and around the holidays, right? Gosh, if you can get somebody home for a holiday and get them in and get them shelter and put that Christmas tree up or have that Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it is, boy, that'd be special, and we are lucky that we get the chance to be a part of it.
InsideWisconsin.com/AmFam. It's Quotes for a Cause. Go and work with your local American Family Insurance agent. Go there now. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.